Hello, we are Sornia. So delighted to be here. We are so delighted to be here. We've been listening in on all of your conversations that you are having, and we hopefully will touch on some of that here today, answer some of your questions or your ponderings, because it's important that you stay informed, isn't it? It's important that you stay informed as to what's going on, who are you, etc., etc. And you're questioning as we listen to you chat with each other and explore, or even in your own thinking in what you project out. All of that is something that we are able to retrieve. So, you can never really be in a state of falsehood when you are not in physical form. Let's talk about that, because we have heard your conversations and we have noticed that several of you are looking at the illusion and what does it mean to not be in an illusion, that your reality is just an illusion. What does that mean? So, we want to talk about that a little bit, hopefully to help you understand your behavior in regards to this illusion. So, you're living in a world that is, for all intents and purposes, really false, right? Like, it's not permanent. Let's put it that way. It's not permanent. It's of your creation. So I guess false isn't the correct term, but it's not permanent. It's not solid. It seems solid. It seems permanent. It seems all of that. But you will see, as you progress and move forward in your understanding, you deepen your understanding of your true nature and the nature of where you live, you will start to see through the fabrication. You'll be able to see, say, we'll take a building and its construction, right? You look at a building and that is not permanent, and it's been created by all of you with your perceptions, right? This is what you've been told. How does that really work? It must baffle you at times. Well, we know that it baffles you because we are hearing you talk about these things, and we know that you are questioning the state of your existence, the nature of your reality. And we say it's about perception. So, again, going back to a building, just any building. And what is going to happen, and we believe it's already happening. We talked about the tear in the matrix that many of you are experiencing. Well, besides that, you are going to see that going back to my building that I talked about, you'll be able to look at a building that seems so solid, or a piece of furniture or something like that. And with practice, you will be able to see its essence and essentially get to the place where you see the molecules that make up the structure, and then beyond that. So what do we mean beyond that? You'll be able to see how it is being created by your perception in conjunction with the etheric realm. Everything that you experience exists already in the etheric realm. We've talked about that. It's there, everything. And that's a realm that is where all possibility lies, where you go when you are in the process of creation. So back to understanding the nature of your reality. When we say it's a fabrication, or it's not truthful. It's sort of a misleading what we're saying also. But for lack of the right terminology, or better terminology, we should say, that's what we say, because essentially, because it's impermanent and it is created through perception, that building that is your home is created through your perception. But it feels real. It feels solid. You can touch everything. You feel solid, right? But your physical form, even though it appears that way, your physical form is in a constant state of growing. It's fluid. It changes. Even your science will tell you that you shed skin and new skin comes. And there are many ways in which your body will release what is no longer needed and bring in what's new. And this is important for you to understand. But again, we can tell you all of this, but you doing it is what's going to really solidify it for you. Because words that we give you, and this is, let me just say, that this is really what gets in the way of you being able to understand how you create and how you manifest, is all of us that know how it's done sharing with you how to do it. And you say, well, why would that be? How, because you're bringing it in through your brain, through the mental process. And when you bring information in through your brain and it just stays in your brain and it's not processed by you for deeper understanding, that's where it is. You can't understand it. It's information that we are giving you that you've accepted as being true. Okay? You've accepted it. It feels, oh, I like that idea. I like the idea that I'm a creator and that it's through my perceptions. So you play with it, or you get serious about it. I wouldn't say that you're playing with it. I think most of you are very serious about learning how you manifest and how you create. But then what ends up happening is you're missing the pieces because you're getting the information from the brain, which the brain is connected to its function in the third dimensional plane that you are existing in. It has other functions too, but that's its purpose. What you want, and we've told you this before, is you want to understand it with, well, we say the heart center, the solar plexus and the heart. These are the two main energy points on your body that you want to understand your reality, from which you want to understand your reality. So experiencing it by going into it with, what do we mean by it? By going into exploring, how do you manifest? How do you create? Asking that question, how do I create? How is my perception creating my reality? Show me the way. Show me what this means. And you stay in a quiet state. You may call it meditation, or you may be taking a walk, or you may be taking a long shower or a bath, something where you're relaxing yourself, or you can be in an active place too, as in the case of taking a walk. But your focus is understanding that, not with the mind. The mind will get the information and will be able to put it into language and all of that, but it's limited in how it can put it into language. And that's where it gets tricky. And that's why many of you who have tried this have listened to the various teachers out there who are valid, very valid, but they're giving it to you in words from their experience. And because each one of you is a unique being, there isn't one way of doing this. There's your way of doing it, your unique way. And there will be similarities between yours and your friend and your family and the people in your life and the person living next door, but you will have a unique twist on it, always. This is what is so important. This is the missing key. So what you want to do is to understand that, and this is for everything, but we're talking about creation and manifestation. In order for you to fully understand that experience, how do you create? How do you manifest? How do you do these things? Create wealth or create wholeness in your body. How does that happen? You have to do it yourself. You can hear and listen to all the various teachers who provide valuable information. But if you follow their path and their path only, you will be following their way. It will be all from the mind, and the mind is the servant to the heart. What does that mean? The mind is to obey what the heart and the solar plexus are saying. All of your information that is of value comes through those centers, in particular the heart. You think of the heart as being the place where you're loving and it's all about love, and it's more than that. The heart center is the place that in your physical form that is connected to the loving experiences, but it's connected to the communication with spirit, with the etheric, with all the what you call metaphysical experiences. They don't come through your five senses, and the brain answers to the heart. The brain answers to the heart. So what does that mean? That means take yourself seriously and take the time in whatever way is most beneficial to you. That is a way to uncover this. Some of you meditate, some of you take walks, some of you visit with a friend and tear apart things and then figure things out. That's good too, but remember, you have a unique way of doing it, and words will not supply the information that you need. You have to have the experience. And that's up to you to figure out how that's done. And for a lot of you, you've been waiting for someone to show you. And we're not scolding you. We're not judging you. This is just how you've been conditioned to think someone will show you what you don't know how to do. Okay, and this is important. You don't need anyone. You could be the only person in your world that wants to do this, and no teachers before you and no one else doing this, and you could still manifest and create the way that you want to if you do it for yourself. So you're going, we're already here. Well, how? We can't tell you the how, because the how is what you will uncover. How is it that you do it? What is your unique way of expressing and creating? How are you doing this? How are you perceiving your world? And that takes your efforts on a daily basis, all day long, being observant of yourself and your interactions with the world. What you interact with all day long is information for you. Instead of being kind of distracted and lost in your thoughts, because most of you have thoughts that are just, they're nonsense really, or they're thoughts that are fairly negative. So rather than being lost in those thoughts, you pull yourself back, and you call it being in the present moment, but you pull yourself back into your center. That's what we like to say, and that is equivalent to being in the present moment. But pull yourself back to center with a couple of deep breaths and be observant. Look at your surroundings. What interactions have you just had? Because when you start to do that, you will go deeper and deeper with it, and you'll start to learn more about yourself. This isn't about you understanding the world around you. This is about you understanding you. This is the first step we would suggest. So you observe yourself interacting with people. Take the time throughout the day, not just at the end of the day. We encourage you, this should be your lifestyle, that you are paying attention to all of your interactions, even the ones that are most familiar to you. Those will be the ones that will give you a wealth of information, but the strangers will give you a wealth of information. Make the effort to join your community, go out into your world and interact with others. See what comes back to you. Then you take that information home with you, and we're being kind of, poetic here or whatever. You take it home, you take it to where, within you, and then you sit with it and you uncover in this process what is unknown becomes known to you, becomes understood by you. And then you start to understand how you are behaving, what you are doing, and you start to see how it's reflected back to you in your environment, in the things that you are experiencing. But only you can do it. No one is going to come and do it for you or show you exactly how it's done. And you know this, and maybe some of you needed to be reminded, and that's why we're talking about it, that you're the ones that are in charge here. When we say this, we're telling you, you're taking your power back. You're always wanting to do that. What are you giving away your power to through your thoughts and through your, kind of random thoughts, your unaware thoughts? How are you giving your power away? By thinking thoughts. You get cut off in traffic, right? That's an irritating experience. And that gets your attention in that moment, and you feel anger, right? Or frustration or annoyance, or whatever words you want to use. And some of you, many of you, will carry that with you for quite a long time. You should be asking, okay, well, what's going on here? Why is this annoying me? Because when you do that, then you unearth another, another aspect of you that needs to be seen by you. And then you make a choice. Not everybody gets irritated in traffic. Why are you getting irritated and not the other person? Because they have a unique way of interacting with the world that's different than yours. Keep that in mind. We know that this message can be difficult because, again, it's abstract in a lot of ways. You have to have the experience in order for it to be understood by you. So having the experience is you choosing to either go into meditation, go for a walk, sitting and asking not of some spirit guide, not of someone outside of you, but from your own unmanifested creations that are waiting for you in the ethers. In essence, you're asking your own self to know what it is. Some of you don't know what you want. You go, I don't know what it is that I want. What am I really looking for? You can ask these questions. Everything that you are meant to experience is already waiting for you in the etheric realm. It's just waiting for you to focus your attention on it, and it will be created by you. Now, we just told you that, right? And you're going, okay. So how do I do that? That's the part that you have to figure out, because it's unique to you. And what an honor. What an honor. This was something that in times that you have no awareness of, because you've been sold basically a story about your history that's very limiting. There were many, many, many advanced civilizations on your planet, that some of them were advanced technologically, but some of them were advanced, let's say spiritually. They knew how to manifest, and they're not there anymore, but they have laid a foundation for anyone coming, that information is there, because again, these advanced civilizations who were able to do this, they did it in their, when I say this, I mean create and manifest. They did it because they learned how to do it through their own process. So that energy is lying dormant in your etheric realm. And it's energy for everyone. You could call it a collective energy, if you will. But it's there, and it's there for everyone. It's up to you to tap into it. The understanding. It's not something that is simple. In some ways it's simple, but maybe it's, just not always easily understood. But if you don't make the effort to understand it, you're not going to ever understand it. So the mind is wonderful. The mind is there in service to the heart. The heart is the conduit by which you communicate both in the earthly realm and in the spiritual realm, and you receive communication. Yes, it's important, your crown chakra, your third eye, all of that, but it's the heart that is doing the communicating, is connecting you. Yes, your crown chakra is important, but it's the heart. Yes, the third eye is important. You have that. But it's the heart that will lead you to finding the key to unlocking the mystery of how you create. There have been civilizations before you that knew how to do it. And you are just remembering this in a very dense reality. It's gotten very dense. It wasn't dense like this for these other civilizations. It's very dense for you. A lot of barriers, and we've talked about that many times. But you're still managing to advance in this third dimensional density. It's amazing, really. And you don't give up. That's the other thing. None of you give up. You keep trying. You may stop for a while and say, okay, I can't do this anymore, or I got to take a minute and kind of remove myself. You do that so that, the information that you've taken in can kind of integrate into your cellular body, so that that information is then stored within you. So know that you have had experiences in these other advanced civilizations, and you have stored the memory and that information within your own soul's storehouse. So it's there already. You wouldn't be hearing this message if it wasn't. It's just that you are ready to have the experience, take it deeper so that it is your experience, unique to you, and you're in charge. And you've got your power back from all of that sense of something outside of you coming and showing you the way. There's nothing wrong with your teachers telling you things and suggesting things and telling you how they have done it. It's good because you learn from that, but it's their way. Find your way. So hopefully this helped you, because we see that you are all looking to understand this very aspect of your existence. And we're trying to help you with that. So as you are moving forward and growing and expanding this piece of interacting with the third dimensional reality, so that you can create the way that you need to create, that will become manifest and you will be able to do that. That's where you're at. You're right at the cliff's edge and ready to jump off. And we're impressed. So for the next couple of weeks, just make the efforts to understand this. Talk to yourself. Get that information churning inside of you, and so that you can get that flow, that connection to the etheric and your own soul's guidance. Keep doing this and see what you are able to understand between now and the next time we interact, or the next couple of times we interact, because we will come back and share with you what we've observed. You might be able to, well, not might be able to, hopefully you all have the experience, even if it's just a minor one, that we'll be able to talk about it when it happens. Experience of understanding how you create. And some of you already do, so we don't want to say you're all in the dark on this. Quite the opposite. We think that this group here has a good understanding of it. One more step towards understanding it for yourself, knowing that you are unique to doing this. You have a unique way of doing it. So that's all for now. We love you very, very much. We're so grateful to all of you, and we really honor all of you and the journey that you have taken. So much is being done by you loving, compassionate souls that you are. And you'll see someday how your efforts to be caring and kind and compassionate, you'll see the rewards of them very soon. All right. That is all for now. We are Sornia. We love you very much. Goodbye.